What is Gordon Ramsay's true personality? I catered his daughter's 16th birthday party back in 2019. His management specifically said no photos, no autographs, treat it like any other client. They emphasized this 3 times during the contract call. The 3rd time, they added Gordon values his family's privacy above everything. The party was at their house in London. 87 guests, full Italian menu, and I'm setting up in their kitchen at 3 p.m. I'd been running my catering company for 8 years, but this was different. My hands were actually shaking while unloading the van. I dropped a box of napkins on their driveway. Gordon walks in wearing Nike gym clothes and a towel around his neck, sees me carrying equipment and says, "You the caterer?" I nodded, trying to act professional. He immediately grabbed 2 boxes from my cart, heavy ones. I tried to stop him. "Mr. Ramsay, I really don't need," he cut me off. "It's Gordon, and you're in my kitchen, so we're doing this properly." His kitchen. I was sweating. For the next 45 minutes, he helped me prep. Not supervising, actually dicing onions, checking my station setup, tasting my marinara. His night work was hypnotic. Perfect brunoise in under 20 seconds. I'd practiced my mise en place for 6 hours the day before, and now Gordon Ramsay was reorganizing my cutting board. At one point, he stopped, tasted my sauce with a spoon, and his face went completely blank. My heart dropped. He looked at me seriously and said, "This sauce needs more basil." I froze. Where was my basil? Did I forget basil? He watched me panic for exactly 3 seconds, then grinned. "I'm kidding. It's perfect. Actually, it's really good." I exhaled for what felt like the first time in 10 minutes. He asked about my business, how long I'd been cooking, where I trained, what my signature dish was. Real questions. When I mentioned I was self-taught, he nodded. "Best way. You learn what actually works, not what some instructor thinks you should know." Around 4:30 p.m., I started the pasta water. Gordon was checking his phone but looked up when he heard the pot. "You're boiling water an hour early?" I explained. "I always start early in case something goes wrong." He smiled. "Smart. Most caterers I've seen would start 10 minutes before service and then panic." At 5 p.m., his daughter came downstairs in her party dress. She saw her dad in the kitchen with me and immediately rolled her eyes. "Dad, you promised you wouldn't take over." He held up his hands and backed away like he'd been caught stealing. "I'm not taking over. You're hovering," she said. "Leave them alone." He whispered to me while walking out, "She's right. I can't help myself in kitchens." Then added, "If you need anything, I'll be upstairs pretending I'm not thinking about what's happening down here." The party started at 6 p.m. The guests were mostly teenagers, but several parents stayed, including some people I recognized from TV. No pressure. I served 200 plates over 3 hours. Caprese skewers, carbonara, chicken marsala, tiramisu. My 2 servers and I moved like a machine. Around 8 p.m., Gordon came back to grab something from the fridge. He watched me plate 6 dishes simultaneously and didn't say a word, just nodded and left. I noticed he took a photo of the plated carbonara on his phone. At 9:30 p.m., his wife came in and asked if we needed anything. She was genuinely kind, asked if we'd eaten, if we were staying hydrated. I said we'd eat after service. She brought us 3 plates of food 10 minutes later with bottles of San Pellegrino. Gordon said, "You're not allowed to leave hungry." The party ended at 10:45 p.m. By 11 p.m., I was packing equipment and my servers had already left with their tips. The kitchen was spotless. We'd cleaned as we went. I was loading the last cutting board into my bag when I heard footsteps. Gordon came back in, still in his party clothes. "Everyone loved the food," he said, "especially the carbonara. My daughter said it was the best part of her night." He handed me a white envelope. "Open it later." I thanked him, loaded my van, and drove home. The job had paid $200, which was already my biggest booking that year. I was exhausted but couldn't stop replaying the day in my head. At midnight, sitting in my apartment, I opened the envelope. Inside was $3,700 in cash. He'd added $500. There was a handwritten note on his personal stationery. "Your carbonara was better than mine. Don't tell anyone. Thanks for making her night special. GR." I still have that note framed in my office. Not because it's from Gordon Ramsay, but because it reminds me that the best people in any field got there by respecting the work, not just their reputation.